happens when gods walk among mortals and discover they're not as untouchable as they thought? When the divine feels desire, everything changes. Earth was dying, crumbling. Chaos ruled every corner of existence until Odysseus, the guardian god himself, made a choice that would alter the course of both heaven and earth forever. He sent his sons, his immortal, perfect sons, not as conquerors, but as saviors, wearing human faces. But here's the thing about playing human. Sometimes the mask becomes the face. These weren't just any beings. These were perfection incarnate. Imagine the most brilliant mind you've ever encountered, the most stunning face you've ever seen, the most commanding presence you've ever felt. Then multiply that by infinity. That was just their baseline. Humans didn't stand a chance. Not in competition, not in leadership, not in anything. So naturally, these immortals rose to the top of every industry, every government, every institution that mattered. And humans, they gladly followed. Because when gods lead, mortals follow. For thousands of years, it worked. Cities rose like monuments to perfection. Civilizations flourished under divine guidance. Everything was controlled, predictable, cold. But then something started happening at those annual leadership conferences. Something that would make Odysseus himself tremble. The jokes started innocent enough.
Did you see how that female human looked at me?
Laughter, eye rolls, dismissive comments about human peculiarities. But the jokes became observations. The observations became lingering glances. You have to understand, these beings were designed to be asexual. One gender, no desires, no distractions, pure function. They were cosmic machines wrapped in perfect flesh, built for one purpose, to govern and rebuild. But flesh has its own memory. And the longer they wore human forms, the more those forms began to change them. It started small. A flutter in the chest when a woman smiled. A strange electricity when accidentally brushing against feminine skin. Confusion at dreams they'd never had before. Their celestial powers remained intact. They could still move mountains, still read minds, still command reality itself. But something new was growing inside them. Something dangerous. Emotion. Desire. Need. Picture this, beings who've existed for millennia without understanding why humans write poetry about love, suddenly finding themselves staring at a woman's lips and feeling their universe tilt on its axis. The professional distance they'd maintained for so long began to crack. Those human women who'd tried to flirt, who they'd dismissed so coldly, suddenly seemed different, fascinating, irresistible. And the immortals began to feel something they'd never experienced in all their eons of existence. Hunger. Not for food, not for power. They already had unlimited power. No, this was a hunger for touch, for connection, for the warmth of mortal flesh against their eternal skin. They wanted to explore these new sensations. They wanted to discover what their perfect bodies could feel, what pleasures awaited beings who'd never known pleasure existed. And the daughters of men, they had no idea what was coming for them. Because when gods discover lust, when immortals learn to crave, when the divine develops an appetite for the forbidden, the consequences don't just shake the earth, they shatter heaven itself. And one immortal is about to cross a line that will change everything forever.